Hello, I am Alexis Delattre and I would like to introduce you our new open source module called Account Move Export. It is available on github.com/accretion/account move export. It's available for Odoo version 16, 15 and 14. This module is designed for companies that don't use Odoo as their accounting software, but companies that use the services of an external accounting firm. The native Odoo has a native feature to export journal entries to Excel, CSV. You select the journal entries that you want to export. Here you have the native feature. You can choose Excel, CSV, you can choose the fields, etc. You can change the order, etc. But this export works well, but it lacks important features. First, it's not easy to export both general accounting and analytical accounting in the same export, especially with the introduction of the multi-axis accounting in Odoo version 15. And for example, you may want to, by default, Odoo sets the partner on all the lines of a cell in the sale journal and purchase journal. And you may want to filter the partner to have it only on certain kinds of journal items and not all. You may want to have the analytic on only specific plans, not all the plans. You may, for example, if you choose CSV, you may want to select a specific encoding for the CSV file. Here it's always UTF-8, but some older accounting software may prefer to have an encoding such as Latin 1 or such older encoding. You cannot choose the column header. It's always set by the field name of Odoo and may not be the proper header for the accounting software you want to export to. You cannot choose the date format. Well, it lacks a lot of features. That's why we decided to develop a new module dedicated to the export of journal entries. When a company works with an external accounting firm, an employee will regularly export sale journal, maybe also purchase journal, and send it to the accounting firm. It's very important to make sure that he exports all the new journal entries since the last export. And each journal entry should be exported only once, of course. To ensure that, we decided that the export would be a stored object in the Odoo database. So it's available in this new menu, Journal Entries Export, and we keep the link between each export and the related journal entries. For example, if I go to journal entry here, you see here we have this new many-to-one field, Account Move Export ID, that points to the new table Account Move Export. And so with this technical design, the module is able to guarantee that a journal entry cannot be exported twice. This is very important. So how do you use this module? First, let's go to the configuration menu. You need to, so journal entries export configuration. You have a default export configuration, so you can customize it. So config for my accounting firm. You can choose the format. You have generic Excel, generic CSV, and other formats may be added by additional modules. You can choose to have a header line or not. You can choose to have analytic or not, no analytic. Yes, I want to have analytic in the export, or filter only on selected plans. So let's choose that we only want the department plans, not the second one. Okay. You can, for the partner identification, you can choose between exporting the database ID or the reference field. On the partner, as I explained, Odoo, when you on a vendor bill or a customer invoice, it will write the partner on all the journal items of that invoice. And you may want to have only to have the partner account only on the customer and supplier account, for example, or only on payable and receivable accounts. So here I select to have the partner only on a few accounts that I select myself, for example. Okay. Then you have this option also to lock the journal entries after validation of the export. So here you can select the level of locking you want upon validation of the export. You can have some, so that's the main configuration, and here you can have some, that's only some default values. So by default I want to export only, for example, the sale and purchase journal, and the default target, okay, only the posted entries are exported by default. Here, well, I can select font size, that's really some small details, but if you select CSV, you have many configuration parameters. You can choose the date format, you can choose the encoding of the characters, UTF-8, Latin 1, ASCII, etc. You can choose the field delimiter, you can choose the decimal separator, dot or comma, the quoting, the file extension, CSV or TXT, etc. So that way you can really customize your CSV export with many options. So, and last but not least, you can configure the columns. So here by default I have all these columns, but I can remove some columns, I can add some columns. For example, I want to have the start and end date. You have this field only if the module, the OCR module account invoice start and date is installed. So I want to have the start date. I want to customize the header, so I don't want to call it start date, I want to call it, for example, well, date start. And also, of course, I want the end date. I want to call it date end. Here I want to have it, okay, this field should be label. I can change the order. If I want to have, for example, well, the date up in second position. Okay, perfect. So here you can really customize, change the order, the labels of the columns, etc., etc. Okay, so my export is finished. I now want to generate a new export. So you have three ways to generate a new export. You can create it manually from the menu entry, journal entries export here. So let's try that. You can select the date range. Here it has automatically set, thanks to the default value for the journals and the target journal entries, all posted entries. So here he will select all the journal entries in these two journals that have not already been exported and that are dated up until June, the end of June. Okay, so let's get all the journal entries. Okay, so he has selected 11 journal entries. Okay, I can see them here. I also have this shortcut for the journal items. Okay, so that's all the journal items related to these 11 journal entries. Okay, fine. I can, so here it's in draft. I can now generate the file. Okay, and here I get my Excel file. Save. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I have all the columns. You see, I have customized the label of this column. I have all the columns I selected. Here in white, I have the general entries. In red, I have the analytic lines. It's filtered by, I only have the analytic lines for the department plan. I don't have those for the site plan. According to my configuration, I only wanted to have the partner on the supplier account and customer account. So here I have the partner with his database ID, but he hasn't written the partner on the revenue accounts, for example. okay, and not also not on the VAT VAT accounts. The partner here you can see is empty. So well, you have here I have that invoice was in US dollars, so in the field original currency amount and original currency code I have the counterpart amount in dollar, the start date and date, etc. So that's the first possibility to generate an export. The second possibility is to manually go to the journal entries and select the journal entries you want to export. So action, export journal entries. Here I have an error message that says one of the selected journal entries have already been exported, so he will block me if I try to, I have selected this journal entry dated in June that was already present in my the export we just generated. So it will block, okay, here I select these three, okay, export journal entries, create, okay, fine, it works well. You can customize also the title of your export, export July, okay, generate the file, okay, fine, I have my export available here, export July, okay. Perfect. You can also, third way to generate an export is to go to the journal items, and here, for example, these three lines are in the same journal entry. Let's select only the two first. Export journal entries. He will, okay, create. So he has not only selected the two first lines, but he will always export a full journal entry, not some lines of a journal entry. So here he has selected, in fact, the three lines of the journal entry, not only the two that I have selected. Okay, so here I can generate the file. Well, so this module has the two generic formats. Sorry, if I come back to the journal entries export here. No, not this one, the first one. So this module has two formats, generic Excel and generic CSV, but you can implement additional formats specific to an accounting software by additional modules. For example, here we are preparing to develop the support for Quadratus in a specific module, Move Export Quadra, and you're welcome to contribute all the formats specific to special accounting software. So this module is open source. Don't hesitate to use it and enjoy. Bye bye.